The GMODIST. More GMODism. Well, hello and welcome to Gmodism. We're back into From the Depth with a little collab, indeed. This is the HMS Ragnarök 2.0, which has been updated. It's another Swedish YouTuber you may know about who built a famous ship a lot of years ago. And Brenzo, who has also recorded this material, has made a new version of it because it was kind of bad. So he updated it, made it fresh, and basically rebuilt the entire thing actually, or did like a serious overhaul thing of it. Now, the HMS Ragnarök has a 350-ish material advantage, so it is more expensive than the Draconia, but it has a lower block count. I think it's ish 60,000. We just saw that a frame ago. And as it is a little collab thing, so Brenzo has recorded this thing because I was a little bit tired of watching or like hosting battles versus the Draconia because I get so bad FPS. And Brenzo has recorded this, and I haven't seen this footage yet, so it will be a little we're gonna experience this together, and I will be like a proper commentator on this little battle. So to me it looks like the Ragnarök is spawned with the broadside. No? Was it spawned with the broadside towards... Who knows? That's kind of a little bit what it looked like, which is kind of weird. I think that the ships should spawn with the noses towards each other, because a broadsider will always be very nice when it gets the broadside out. So it seems we have the hood left, so I can't see the material advantage or disadvantage much at all. But oh, there we go, nice. But here we can see. Okay, so we have the Ragnarök is in the lead right now, material-wise. So I'm really hoping that the Draconia's laser will take out some of those turrets, because those are pretty dangerous armor-piercing big slugs there. And for the Ragnarök 2.0, Brenzo has spent quite a lot to get a really strong LAM system. So the Draconia relies on absolute missile spam. It's not very... what to say? It's not very refined method of killing your enemy, but it kind of works. But in this case, I think the Ragnarök has so good LAMs that our missiles are actually rarely getting through. So that's something to note there. And these cannons are absolutely shredding up the Draconia's armor here. We have a lot of era armor, so one shot won't give us a critical kill, and this is why our material count is so darn high. We just have so much era armor that going on there. The real thing is if the Draconia's laser will be killed or not. Now we're turning the side towards the enemy here, which is a little bit not so good. Yeah, I'll be real sad when the laser goes, if it goes. It's usually how the Draconia loses, someone is able to take out its lasers. And the Draconia's missile spam is of course causing huge amounts of lag, but it's a thing that makes it kind of strong too. It's just spamming a lot of shots there. We're apparently down to 13 FPS in this battle here now. So yeah. Oh, the Draconia is riding pretty low. I think none of our... I think very few things that we shoot at it actually gets through. Oh, what happened with laser now? Oh no. It hasn't been beaming for a while. That's really bad. It's only 1 minute and 15 seconds into the battle. And if our laser is already gone, that's super bad. Oh no. Alright. And what's happening there? Is this Seawiz or is that... That's probably Seawiz shooting down our incoming missiles. I don't know how many of our missiles getting through here, but they're absolutely spamming. Yeah. While we're shooting, while the Ragnarök is using APS mainly to take out the Draconia, the best way to take out the Draconia is actually to have big crams, I think. It's pretty slow and its lamps are pretty weak, so big missiles works pretty well too. Yeah. We set up our crams in order to kind of drain the lamps of the enemies. But for some serious strong lamp like this, it might have been a good idea to actually make them make all of them only hollow point. And Draconia is starting to go pretty low here. That's not looking too good. It looks like our main gun is still running. Our main gun is still zapping. Ooh, the laser is online still. That's good. Oh, do we have power problems? No. The lasers seems to be lasing. HMS Ragnarök is at 96% health, while the Draconia is down to 91, which is pretty more normal. We have some bulk. Oh my god. Oh yeah, there we have the steam engine. We have some power problems most likely. We have auxiliary power, but our forwards propulsion should now be seriously sad. We're 7 minutes into the recording, but only 2 minutes into the battle. Perhaps Brenzo is having some lag then too. By the way, the HMS Ragnarök is a little series where he builds it. And if you want to check that out when he builds it, if you liked me building the Draconia in the series about building the Draconia, you'll probably enjoy the building series of the HMS Ragnarök, or the refitting basically. It's a pretty cool little thing. I checked out some of the episodes and it's interesting to see for sure. Okay, here we have my huge missile. This was a late addition, because you might remember that I built the Draconia in order to be challenging border-wise Titan's line. Oh no, the Seawiz is popping in on it. Yeah, and when I built the Draconia was a lot cheaper than the end result of the Titan's line. So I basically just slapped on some extra missiles and stuff like that to kind of meet the costs. So the costs, the price tag was 1.8 million, and that's why I added like that huge missile. Is really expensive just to get to the cost. It's not very good. It often hits, but this time I think the HMS Ragnarök's speed kind of saved it a little bit here. All right. I don't know what's up with the sound. Ain't that super weird? This, I don't know. What the hell is this? I don't know if the sound of this battle thing got messed up or something. Weird. In any case, the Brenzos Ragnarök is still at 94%, while the Draconia is at 85%, but I'm very happy that the laser is still lasing. And I sneak peeked a little bit on an earlier little battle Brenzo did with the Draconia, and at that time, the Draconia's small leeching missiles with EMP did take out... oh no, our laser area is very exposed. This looks very scary. Well, anyways, our EMP did take out one of his main turrets just by zapping the weapon controller, because he had forgotten to EMP insulate all the weapon controllers. So I guess he's fixed that, so we won't get that lucky this time. And right now it does look like the Draconia will lose this battle. And, you know, I'm gonna be pretty surprised if the Draconia is able to win this battle. It has a higher block count, yes, but it also has a 300k material disadvantage. And the Draconia's actual cost, if we removed all that extra stuff I added, is probably more 1.6 million. So yeah. In any case, yeah, I'm gonna be real surprised if we win this, but you know, the Draconia has surprised me before. We are definitely going to make a new battleship in the future, because I learned a lot. Like, Draconia is my first proper battleship that I ever built, and I'm very happy with its combat effectiveness, despite all that. So I'm definitely wanna build a new battleship, and hopefully that battleship will be much stronger than what the Draconia is. Will be very interesting. Alright. HMS Hans Majestäts Skepp Ragnarök 2.0 is at 93%, Draconia is at 81%. Man, the Draconia just take ages to kill. I do think our engine is pretty messed up on the Draconia here. Oh yes. And this is a best of 3, by the way. So we're going to see what happens next then. Got some missiles popping in here. Ooh, and the wood metal checkerboard armor. Brenzo did some testing before selecting armor, and the wood and metal checkerboard thing was inspired from the Draconia indeed, because it held up pretty well in the tests. We have some backstacked era armor there as well. I don't know what's making the oh my god, that's some, yeah, right. So so Brenzo did some pretty cool interiors for the Ragnarök as well. The superstructure is like only interiors. Seems our missile spam is getting through. Some of it at least. I guess the lambs are possibly a little bit sad. Well, it feels kind of weird watching a battle with no sound. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Well, (11 FPS). We're 14 minutes into the battle in game, and we're 14 minutes into the recording and 4 minutes into the game. So that tells me that this is probably some pretty slow speed. Yes. Kind of 30% speed maybe. Would possibly one could possibly record such a battle at like 50% speed and then speed it up afterwards. Oh my god. My entire main gun turret is absolutely completely 100% gone. And my laser ain't working much at all. Yep, we got some holes in the laser here, so that's probably it, yeah. You know what? We're gonna sneak peek a little bit what happens in the future. Yep, and as expected, the Ragnarök is winning the first battle, because the laser was indeed down, and the APS main gun was also down. So since we don't get through much, well, basically nothing more happened during this battle. So then we know we can then go to the next battle and see how well the Draconia performs against the HMS Ragnarök in that one. Well then we have the second little battle here, and I'm gonna see. I must say I'm not okay with the angle that the Ragnarök got to spawn on, because that will make it like, this is the advantage with having a broadsider. If you can spawn your ship in an optimal angle, you know what, I don't know, I don't really dig that. Spawning your ship in an angle will give a broadside ship the best potential to deal damage. Now a frontsider also has some potential, like it has a big advantage of spawning with the nose forwards, because it is a frontsider, the Draconia is a frontsider, and the guns are aimed at pointing forwards. But the disadvantage of having a frontsider like the Draconia is that you can fill your front with so much armor, but there is always a cram cannon and a railgun that will go through that armor. So no matter how much armor you stick in the front of your frontsider, you can always, especially in big battleships, make a gun that goes through that. Yeah, so it will go through that every time. When you have your guns spread out on a broadside like this, there are so many different places an enemy can hit, so you will not do substantial damage to the ship. And that is why it is fair that the frontsider will spawn towards the enemy with all its guns facing the enemy, because when a railgun hits that frontsider, it will hit something important. Because the kind of surface area of the front of a frontsider is pretty small, so the railguns will go through there and deal some damage to some important bits. But when you have a broadsider, you are supposed to make it also face the front towards the enemy, because otherwise the frontsider can't deal damage to the broadsider until all its guns are facing towards the frontsider. When we have it like this right now, the Ragnarök and the Draconia is both facing the enemy with all its guns at once, and that makes it kinda unfair, I feel like, because, as said, the Draconia has a lot of front armor, but these railguns can go through it. So the HMS Ragnarök will be able to deal some damage early on to the front of the Draconia, and these early game stages should actually be for the Draconia to be able to deal some damage to the Ragnarök before it faces the broadside. Because now, and another thing is that the Ragnarök spawns at an angle, it can move sideways really fast, and the Draconia don't have time to adjust and make sure its side doesn't face the enemy, because the Ragnarök is basically already gaining speeds forwards in a sideways direction, and the Draconia can't turn so fast. And this makes it really unfair for the first minute of the battle, that the Draconia cannot face the enemy forwards to make sure it's moving sideways. The Draconia's weapons will hit better when the ship is trying to turn sideways, while the Ragnarök can deal all the damage to the Draconia. I don't know if that makes any sense, but hope I tried to explain that. Because I did a battle before with the Secret Advisor against Draconia, and he had such a large diff gun ship that it was basically unable to turn at all before basically colliding with the Draconia. Thing was, if he got the advantage to spawn at the broadside, his ship would always win. If he spawned forwards facing the Draconia, his ship would not win all of the time, because the Draconia could deal the damage while it was turning. And I kind of feel like if we just imagine like a ship going into like battle and stuff like that, going up to each other, they're probably gonna have their noses towards each other, and after that they can maneuver to turn. And to spawn a ship with a broadside towards the enemy ready to shoot is really fair against a frontsider. And that's kind of the trade-off. Do you want to be able to move fast sideways and able to dodge missiles and stuff like that? You saw before the Ragnarök was able to dodge the huge missile just by basically being very fast. And that's kind of the pro of having a broadsider or a one-sider. You can go sideways, miss shots, and the trade-off is that you don't get to have all your guns ready from the get-go. The Draconia has all of its guns ready from the get-go, but it basically can't turn and maneuver to not get hit. And that's kind of the trade-off. So I don't think this is fair. I'll need to do battles testing this myself a little bit, but with a broadsider spawning at an angle with all its guns already ready makes it have a firepower, armor, and speed advantage. And it has an armor advantage because a broadsider has so many points to shoot that it's hard to hit anything important every time. Yeah, because the surface area is so large. If you hit the Draconia in the front, you will hit something important. If you have a strong armor-piercing cram shooting the Draconia from the front, which is a very good way to take out the Draconia, by the way, you will go through and hit something important. Yeah, you will. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that the HMS Ragnarök will win this battle too, because it has taken out the Draconia's laser. And no, I will be clear, I think that the Draconia will lose this battle when we test it against the Ragnarök. I do think the Draconia will lose. It has a block advantage, yes, but it also has a 300k material disadvantage. And the Ragnarök, I think I think the Ragnarök is a stronger ship, by the way. It's very well built. It has gone through multiple tests, and Brenzos is a very good builder. And yeah, it has been tested and polished and fixed, so it's a really good one. It's a really good ship. I do think the HMS Ragnarök is stronger than the Draconia. However, I do not think the setup of this battle is fair. So I don't think this battle isn't valid. While the Ragnarök is most likely going to win this battle, and I think it's going to win the future battle also. I do not think that the setup is fair, so I will have to say that I cannot report results from this battle. I do not consider the results of this battle valid, so I will just we'll just watch this battle for fun and see what we can learn for making a future ship. But the results as of this battle isn't valid, and I'm going to make... I think if you want me to make to set up this battle and we can look at it again, please do tell me in the comments and we can do that. But otherwise, you know, I can probably build a new ship and put that to the test, and that could be pretty interesting to see too. But yeah, spawning a broadsider with the front towards the enemy, I just don't think it's... You'll get the best of both worlds if you do that, and in that case it's always best to go with a broadsider if you can spawn with your face towards the enemy. But that's just my opinion, you may not agree. And I still think the HMS Ragnarök is a stronger ship. I want to be clear with that. It's very well built. It's very well set up. So it's not that I think the Draconia will win. I think it has more chances of winning if we spawn them nose to nose as we normally do. But I don't think it will win. Especially not with a material disadvantage. And man, the Draconia should probably be pretty happy with the absolutely... we have some pretty heavy era spam in there. Because if we wouldn't have that, we would have... we would have died a lot earlier, I think. But yeah... I think we can... The laser isn't lasing anymore. It has been taken out, so it feels like we can skip forwards a little bit in the battle here. All the Ragnarok's main guns. Yeah, so Brenzo definitely fixed that AI computer issue. He must have. Because none of the turrets have been taken out via EMP. So I think he EMP secured this vessel pretty well. And well, the Draconia just takes forever to kill. It does not sink. It just takes forever to kill. But yeah, so as expected, the HMS Ragnarök won this battle too. But I have a problem with how it was set up, so we may need to redo this battle. If you want us to redo this battle, please post it in the comments, and I'll see if I can make my computer suffer a little bit more. I think this will lag a little bit for me, but honestly I think the HMS Ragnarök is a pretty unlaggy build. Yeah. It doesn't spam a lot of interceptors, what I've seen, and it doesn't... yeah, I think it's pretty unlaggy. So I think if I'm gonna host this battle, the Draconia will be the laggy part. Not surprised. The Draconia is such a laggy ship, oh my god. And I'm not going to update the Draconia in any way. It is what it is, it's on the workshop. I'm gonna make some new ships, but I'm so tired of updating the Draconia, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah, it was cool to see. And I'll just want to say that I'm very impressed with the build of the Ragnarök, and I think it looks very cool. And yeah. So thanks for Brenzo for sending the footage. While I don't agree with the battle, how it was set up, I will say that the Ragnarök is a fantastically cool ship. It's super awesome. The interiors are so nice. And we might have to make a video about the HMS Ragnarök just in order to showcase the interiors of that thing. Because that's some funny stuff. Well, in any case, hope you enjoyed this little video. Tell me in the comments what you think.
Subscribe to Brenzo.
Oh shit.
Do it now. And subscribe to Gmodism. Do it.
My god.
Cowards.
I got since we have been silent all along with this entire video clip, I was a little bit shocked with that, but thanks a lot for checking out this video, and yeah, tell me in the comments what you want to see. Do you think my assessment is unfair? Do tell me and explain why in detail if you think that, and I'll be seeing you in the future videos. This is your host Gmodism, and we're signing out.